Hey everybody, welcome to Nectar Wine Vlog. I'm your host, Josh Wade, and today we're going down to a classic, iconic winery down in California, Mendocino County area. This is Parducci Winery, founded in the 1920s. And as you read through the history of Parducci Winery, it's a history of who's who in the wine business. A lot of great winemakers have come through Parducci and moved on to other fantastic businesses, including one of Spokane's iconic folks, and that is Mike Conway at Latah Creek, who spent a great deal of time down at Parducci and brought up some of the cold fermentation processes for low alcohol and high flavor white wines that Latah Creek has been known for. But Parducci is one of the first carbon neutral wineries. They have been considered one of the greenest wineries out there. Using 100% green power, earth-friendly packaging, and really, all in all, they're known for being a great value winery. Selected, year in, year out, at some point for having some high-value wines, $10 to $12 that score pretty high. So we're going to look at two of their wines. This first one tonight is a 2007 Petite Syrah. We've got Bob Swain as the current winemaker. You've had great winemakers in there, Thornhill and Paul Dolan. Petite Syrah typically tends to be a lot of tannin in there, small grape, a lot of skin. So a lot of times used as a blending grape to add some character and structure. This particular Petite Syrah is 88% Petite Syrah, 11% Syrah, and 1% Viognier. Spent 22 months in neutral oak. Very purple, and actually pretty bright too. Let's give it a sniff. Mellow on the nose, not a ton of stuff. A little bit of minerality and some wet socks. Sorry, it's not totally unappealing, but not totally appealing either. And hints of like dried prunes, dried plums, so all the sweetness kind of sucked out of it. But let's give it a sip. Here's what I like about this wine. It's full of thick structure. Pairing this with food would be fantastic. Drinking it on its own, I would not necessarily recommend it unless you love big chewy wines. Had a good smooth initial attack, soft hints of like lavender, velvety, if you will. But then right in the back end just kind of squeezed your tongue on the back. So particularly would probably want to pair well with something thick and hearty to combat that. All in all, though, $10.99 retail, easily probably be found under $10. Pretty good wine, not too bad. All right, the next wine we're going to try is their 2007 Cabernet Sauvignon. This is 89% Cab, a little bit of Cab Franc, a little bit of Syrah, a little bit of Malbec, and interestingly, again, enough, a little bit of Viognier as well. History that I mentioned earlier with Paul Dolan in there, recently a tasting with Paul Dolan and his wines and their biodynamic farming practices. All obviously, he had a significant influence in bringing Parducci into the green age, if you will, of winemaking. So really enjoyed that tasting as well. This wine is actually, it's averagely thick, has some good color towards the edges. Let's give it a sniff. Again, very subtle. This spent 26 months in New American oak, well, 20% of it at least. And the rest in neutral redwood tanks and stainless steel. Really not a ton happening on the nose. Hints of a little bit of peppery spice and a little peppery cherry, but let's give it a sip. So for me, when I think about a wine like this, I compare it to like some Fetzer, Columbia Crest, Grand Estates wines, very much the same price point. In there, in in flavor, a little thinner than I would expect or that I would want at this price point. You know, no off flavors. It's not rough. It's not tough. It's not sour. It's not green. So, you know, I'm not home run, you know, screaming, jumping up and down about it. But under $10, and you're needing something solid, to be honest with you, it fits in really well. It's a good drinking wine, and it fits that price point that a lot of people need for that daily wine experience without breaking the bank. So all in all, I'm really pleased with both of these guys. You know, excited, and I know they're easily found at the stores. So if you're watching this, I think you can trust the fact that both of these would be good. Really thick, pair with food. If you're drinking it on its own, be prepared to have your tongue on a stranglehold. This one here, lacking a lot of really distinguishing flavor, but at $10, it's not off and thin and tepid and sour or anything like that. So take it for what it is. Enjoy life with friends.